Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Blanco the Islam, and today we are covering the next best business to buy in GTA Online. And as you can see, it is the nightclub. This is one of the better businesses in the entire game in terms of passive income. It's absolutely a monster and a must own for any solo grinders or just real, money guys in GTA. So it is going to be the next installment in our series of best business to buy. I have covered the agency and the salvage yard in the last two previous episodes. So if you are interested in those, I will leave the link in the description below and also a video box on screen now. But anyway, like I said, today we are covering the nightclub. And before I do get into the video, I am going to have to ask you guys to smash that like and subscribe button. It takes 1 second of your time and helps the channel and video perform well in the YouTube algorithm tremendously. And I appreciate it tremendously, right? But anyway, let's get into it. So starting off, where to buy a nightclub. There is no locations in Blaine County. They are all located in Los Santos. I will be going through the renovations. You have nightclub style, light rig, nightclub name. Those are all just cosmetic. I don't suggest getting any of them unless you have a ton of money. The things that you will need to buy, though, of course, are the storage levels. So as you see, there's 1 through 5. Each of these storage levels will increase the amount of storage that your warehouse can hold, which we will get into later, which is the main way that you're going to make money with this business. I did also buy a second garage, but you really don't need one. That's just going to help you store 10 vehicles per level. The thing you really definitely need is the actual storage levels. And then, of course, the dancers and the dry ice is not a necessity, but the storage levels 1 through 5 is absolutely a must-have. You definitely need it because you do want to max out your potential and passive income with this business, which we are going to cover now. So as you can see, I do grab $200,000 from my safe here, and that is linked to the popularity bar that's right under the wall safe money amount. So the popularity of your nightclub can be boosted in 2 ways, either by changing your resident DJ, basically the person who's playing music in your club, or you could do promote club missions. I would highly suggest not doing that, as these can take very long, and changing the resident DJ, you have to do it 10 times. So it does, if you have 0 popularity, it will cost $100K, but I would just make sure you do it, like mine. You see how my bar is like 90% full. Then you only have to change the DJ once or twice and you'll be at max popularity. And as you can see, current daily income is $45K. When it's full completely, it's going to be $50,000, and that's going to be every 48 minutes because, of course, that is 1 GTA day. So you'll get $50,000 every 48 minutes. Absolutely amazing. Now, the next part of the warehouse is going to come from the warehouse management, where you will have to hire and pay these 5 techs. I do highly suggest getting all 5. And then I would suggest using these 5 corresponding businesses that I have on screen now. I will put check marks or light them up for you guys so you can see. These are the businesses that are going to make you the most money passively with the nightclub. I would not suggest doing organic produce and printing and copying. That's, of course, going to come from your green farm or your document forgery office. I would suggest doing sporting goods, South American imports, cargo and shipments, pharmaceutical research, and cash creation. These are going to be your best 5 businesses to produce the most amount of money with your warehouse. Now, these businesses, cargo and shipments is going to be a cargo warehouse, sporting goods is going to be a bunker, South American imports is going to be a white stuff lockup, pharmaceutical research is going to be the meth lab, and then cash creation is going to be your counterfeit forgery office. So those are the 5 businesses you're going to need to actually purchase and own through your motorcycle club to have access to them in your nightclub warehouse. So it is a little bit costly. This business is not cheap. It costs about $10 million to get this thing fully up and running. Definitely one of the more expensive businesses in the game, but that is also why it is one of the best businesses in the game. It definitely makes up for the price. And I'd say you'd make that money back very, very easily, both through the wall safe and through the warehouse. Now, the final portion of your nightclub upgrades are going to come from the equipment upgrade and the staff upgrade. The security upgrade is not too necessary. Just, make sure you don't get raided, which the nightclub doesn't get raided much. It's personally never happened to me, so I would not really suggest buying that. But the staff upgrade and the equipment upgrade are necessities. The staff upgrade is going to help uphold your popularity for longer periods of time. So that does help the wall safe stay at $50,000 every 48 minutes for a longer period of time without you having to keep up with the popularity. And of course, the equipment upgrade produces, the warehouse goods faster and also increases the value of them, which means more money, which we want, right? So I would definitely suggest getting these 2 upgrades. And like I said, in total, with everything that I've showed you between the 5 businesses and the staff and equipment upgrade, and also buying the 5 storage units in the basement to be able to hold as much goods as possible, it's going to be about $10 million. So pretty pricey for sure. Next up, I did want to get into the sale vehicles. So first off, I do want to say the sale missions for the nightclub are absolutely awesome. You only have to use 1 vehicle, which is another reason this business is one of the best businesses in my opinion, and definitely very strong for solo players and an absolute must own for solo players, because your sale missions are going to require 1 of 3 vehicles here. So the smaller one to the right is the Speedo Custom. The one in the middle, the medium sized one, is the Mule Custom. And then the last one is the Pounder Custom. That's the big boy all the way at the left. So depending on how many units you have in your warehouse, that's the vehicle that the sale mission will require you to use. So of course, the smaller units are going to go in the Speedo, the medium sized deliveries are going to go in the Mule Custom, and then the very large deliveries, if you have your warehouse fully maxed out and fully stocked, it will go into the Pounder Custom. And like I said, these sale missions are always 1 vehicle required. It will never require you to use more than 1 vehicle, so feel free to run this business 100% solo. I suggest doing the deliveries where you use the Pounder or the Mule Custom just because you make more money. But if you want to just keep cashing out at about 500k value, you can use the Speedo Custom. It is a little bit faster and more agile. I do want to mention all these vehicles are upgradable and you can equip armor plating. As you can see, I have on mine ram weapons and armor, and also like anti-air missiles and machine gun turrets on top of some of them. So very unique sale vehicles. I think these are the best sale missions in the game. I think belong to the nightclub, and definitely, like I said, make it one of the better businesses to own for solo players. It's a must own, actually. So I did want to get into the sale missions a bit. They're very simple. There's like 6 or 7 different ones. Usually the prompts that pop up are very simple to follow. Like, for example, this one that I'm doing here, you just have to go to the area. It's like going to be a yellow circle. You have to search for the buyer, and then, you're going to get a text message of what the buyer's vehicle details are, and you just have to look for like a yellow, SUV that he's driving. It's pretty easy to spot. It's like a bright yellow/orange. There's also sale missions where you have to use the Sightseer app and do like 3 different hacks to obtain 3 different locations and drop off the goods at the 3 different locations. You have sale missions where you go to one drop and the cops show up, and then you have to lose them and then go to the next, sale drop. For that one, I specifically suggest when the cops come, just call in a helicopter or your oppressor if you have one. Fly all the way up in the sky until you lose them, and then fly back down to your vehicle. It makes it much easier to lose them that way than to actually, lose them in this big, slow hunk of junk. Anyway, getting into Ghost Organization, as you can see I have on the screen now. If your lobby is a little, hectic, if you see people are killing each other a lot, you might want to just pop Ghost Organization. I usually just hold it on the screen like I am here. It's just a quick tip. Hold it on your screen like this. Keep your eyes on that mini map. If you see oppressors starting to get close to you or follow you around, just pop the Ghost Organization, but just keep it hovering up on your screen. And then once you see people getting a little too close for comfort, you could pop Ghost Organization, which will keep you off the map for 3 minutes. So I try to get at least somewhat closer to the location before I pop it. That way I have enough time to actually complete the mission while still remaining off the radar. Now, of course, if you're an invite-only session player and you only sell your businesses in invite-only sessions, Jesus Christ, obviously Ghost Organization and all that stuff does not apply to you. But I'm personally an advocate for always selling in public sessions because, of course, you get 25, players equals 50% extra in the sale, in the sale price because you get the high demand bonus. And it is a bit risky. A lot of players have oppressors nowadays. There's a lot of griefers out there, but you do make a lot more money, man, to be honest. Like if you have $1 million worth of stock and you sell in an invite only session, you will only get $1 million. Whereas if you sell public, you get 1.5, So if you do 2 sales like that, you made $3 million, whereas it would take you 3 sales of the same amount of number in an invite only to make the same $3 million. And the nightclub does take a while to fill up. I'm not gonna lie, man. To get a full warehouse with your goods fully stocked up, it can take about 30 to like sometimes 40 hours of actual playing time. So, it's going to take you about a week, a week, 2 weeks, depending on how much you play the game to actually fill up your entire warehouse. So I would personally suggest to sell in a public session with 25 players or more. So that way you can get the 50% bonus. I personally think it's worth it. But if you are a player that likes to stick to invite-only sessions, I do not blame you. Like I said, there's a lot of griefers, and it's really frustrating when your stuff gets blown up. But personally, I'd say only like 1 out of every 10 sales I do actually gets griefed. So for me, the math just works out to always do it in public sessions. But to each his own, we don't judge anybody. But anyway, I do want to wrap up some last few points that I did forget to hit on earlier in terms of the popularity and the wall safe. You can throw people out from your club. You'll get a text from your security guard where he'll ask you to throw someone out, like a troublemaker, or drive a VIP customer back to his house, and it increases your popularity. I would suggest staying away from driving home the VIPs. Those could take a little bit too much time. The throwing the people out, those are very easy. You just walk up to them and press, a single button and they're thrown out. You get $10,000 cash for it, and it increases your popularity. And those are also 2 ways. Again, I forgot to mention earlier, but that is 2 more ways that you can keep your popularity up. But this business works best if you have other things to do. I would not buy this business as your first business or even your second one. You should make the nightclub your 4th or 5th business. And the reason I say that is, you should own a Katsaka beforehand. You should own an agency beforehand. You could do the Clucking Bell Farm Raid. All of these things, the Acid Lab. You can do all of these things, even the salvage yard, with the car robberies and the tow truck work. You can do all these things while the nightclub is building up, its stock. Because again, this business does build money passively. Also, if you do want to get more units, you can call Johan on your phone, and he will source cargo for you, and you could help fill up the nightclub a little bit faster. But I don't think it's really worth it. I think, those source missions only give you like 2 units of cargo, 2 or 3 units. And, you could get those 2 or 3 units in just 30, 40 minutes of playing. So you could just go do other things. And I think it's just more sufficient that way. I rarely ever source, cargo for my nightclub. I just let it build on its own while I run my Cayo Perico heist, while I run my Clucking Bell Farm Raid, while I run all my other plethora of businesses in the game. So again, that's my reasoning why I think this business should be, your 4th, 5th, or even 6th business, because it is going to be a passive business where it builds while you do other stuff in the game. So if you get this one first, you're not really going to have much to do. You're just going to be waiting around, for your nightclub warehouse to fill up. And at that point, it's not really efficient. That is not the most efficient way to run the business, in my opinion. But that does just about wrap us up for today's video. Of course, this is Best Businesses to Buy in GTA. This is a series I do on the channel where every single week I pick one business to cover, and I go over the ins and outs of the business in depth and tell you guys basically the most efficient way to run it and get the most out of the business. Because of course, that's what it's all about, man. You want to get the most out of your investments, right? If you enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful in any way, if you learned something new, a like and subscribe would be appreciated. Join the Slime Squad. We do make consistent GTA content here on this channel. I am currently relocating my home, so it's not going to be as consistent as it normally is. I've been a bit busier than usual with like real life things going on, but it's an exciting time. I'm getting a new apartment, you know what I'm saying? Making big moves, man. Anyway, hit that like and sub. Join the Slime Squad. Like I said, it only takes 1 second of your time and it helps the channel grow tremendously. Also, leave in the comments down below, what business you'd like to see next. If there's a specific one you want to see covered by me, or, for whatever reason, if you like my content and you want to hear me talk about your favorite business, just leave a comment down below and I'll try to get that done for you. And until the next one, peace out, boys.